everyone, and welcome to Business Boutique. I'm Christy Wright, and today we are talking about certain habits that you need in your life, and I do too. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I look back at the last 10, 15 years of my adult life, I start to realize there are seasons that were really good. And there were seasons that were not so good, and I can almost always trace the root of the good or the bad of that particular season to the habits that I had. You know, there's one particular season where I was in the best shape of my life. This was several years ago, and it was when Rachel Cruz, Dave Ramsey's daughter, and I decided to start working out in the mornings before work. Now, Rachel lives in Franklin, Tennessee. I live in Brentwood, Tennessee. There is a Franklin YMCA right by Rachel's house. It's 1 mile from her house. And there is a Maryland Farms YMCA literally 2 miles from my house. But both of us would drive past those YMCAs to meet in the middle at the Brentwood YMCA just so that we could work out together. Now, y'all, there was something so powerful about this season. I got up morning after morning, week after week, month after month, and I would go work out with my friend before work. We would run, we would do elliptical, we would do weights, and it was amazing to see how our bodies truly transformed over that period of time. Now, we didn't have any lofty goals. It wasn't that we needed to lose weight. It wasn't that we had some particular thing that we wanted to accomplish. We just wanted to get healthy. This is so funny to tell you guys, but I guess I can. Rachel won't mind. We would even text each other pictures of like our biceps. Like, look how much my bicep is growing. And we actually had biceps. It was amazing. But you know why that season was so special and why I saw such improvement? It wasn't because I had a very short period of time with a high intense effort. It was a long period of time, and it was just having the habit. Day after day, week after week, getting up and showing up. And the result was I was healthy. Rachel was healthy. We were in the best shape of our life. We had more energy than ever before. We looked better than ever before. Clothes felt better than they ever had before. And we had biceps. Like, who would have thought? But you know what? The result of that wasn't something super impressive. It wasn't even something that, believe it or not, was super difficult. Now, of course, getting started that first week was difficult. But after that, it got easy. Because why? Because it became a habit. That's why I want to spend this episode teaching you about habits. Now, we talk about goals a lot. Y'all know I am big on goals. Goals are impressive. Goals are exciting. Goals are energizing. Goals are important in your life and your business, but they are different than habits. See, the thing about goals are that goals tend to have a starting point and an ending point. They are some intentional action where you are taking an initiative that has a starting line and a finish line. It's usually new, it's usually big, it's usually impressive. Habits aren't. Habits are just this recurring action day in and day out. It's often not new, it's not big, it's not impressive, it's just a part of you. And these habits are often just small changes. Just tiny tweaks. You turn the knob here, you improve this here, you change this here. And what's interesting is you will see over time how they make an impact. But at the time of making the change, at the time of creating the habit itself seems insignificant. It's not impressive. It's not exciting. It's not a big deal. It's not something that you feel like is even making that much of a difference. Like, for example, creating the habit of going to a restaurant and choosing water over Coke, or creating the habit to first thing in the morning, instead of grabbing your phone and scrolling Instagram, you pick up your Bible and read a scripture for the day. Those are tiny things. They're not impressive things. But over time, when you choose water over Coke and read scripture over Instagram, I guarantee you will see a change in your life. But it didn't happen because you set a big, giant, huge goal to do it. It happened because you created a habit. Day in and day out, these tiny wins, you start to see change over time as they become a part of you. They don't have a defined finish line where you're done and fall off the wagon, stop working out, stop eating good, stop choosing water. It just becomes a part of you. It's like James Clear says, building good habits is about small wins and tiny breakthroughs that compound over time. Now, let me just give you some examples of some of my habits, okay? Now, I have good habits, like you, and I have bad habits, also like you, let's just focus on the good. I have plenty of bad habits like picking my face and procrastinating and letting my car get very dirty, but we don't need to go into all that. We don't need to talk about that. Let's talk about the good habits because that's what we're going to try to create today in this episode. Okay, here's some examples of mine. Number one, I have a really good habit of playing with my boys. Now, I don't mean I'm a good mom because I play with my boys in the obvious ways that a mother should play with their kids. I mean, I'm physically active with my kids. I get on the floor with them. I wrestle with them. I create scavenger hunts with them. I push them in the swing. We move dump trucks across big piles of dirt. We'll do Easter egg hunts in the middle of August. I'm so active in playing with my boys. I will get on the monkey bars with them. I will go down the slide with them. I can't tell you how many times, even pregnant, which just visualize this, if you will. I have gone through this, those tunnel slides at the playgrounds where my boys love to go down with me. And so I will have, I kid you not, Carter, my 4-year-old, in my lap, leaned back against my giant pregnant belly, Conley in Carter's lap, and we all three go down the slide together. It is not uncomfortable, and it's sure not even fun for me. In fact, I'm feeling squished as a pregnant woman with 2 kids leaning on my 3rd child. But you know what? I play with them. And as a result, these tiny habits of playing with my kids makes me a really fun mom. My boys love to play with me. They know they can play with me. They depend on playing with me. I intentionally have the habit of getting dirty, getting on the playground, getting on the ground and wrestling and playing with my boys. But it's not something I set a goal to do. It's just a habit I've created and it has become a part of me. Now I'll give you another one. This is a simple one, but I work on all my flights. I'm actually flying out tomorrow, and instead of watching a movie or even reading a book, I work, and I get so much work done. This is one of the many ways that I try to multitask and make the most of my time, so I don't waste these times in the air. Instead, I work. It's just a habit. Some people next to me watch videos, and I think, oh, I guess other people do other things. But it's such a habit. It's so ingrained in me that I expect to work. I plan to work. I even like to work because at the end of the flight, when I land, the flight has gone by faster and I got a whole lot done. So working on flights is a simple habit that I've integrated into my life that doesn't even feel like an effort. It's just what I do. It's just who I am. I'll give you another one. This sounds silly, but I carry a water cup with me everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I have this water cup. Well, here's what's amazing. When I carry this cup around with me everywhere that I go, I'm constantly filling it, which means I'm constantly drinking water. If I did not carry the cup, I would not have a cup to fill and I would not have the water to drink. It would be so much more effort to find a water bottle, find a plastic cup or styrofoam cup, or try to find something. I would not drink even a fraction of the amount of water that I actually drink if I didn't carry the cup. Now, y'all, no one's getting excited about my water cup. I'm not updating my Facebook profile. I carry a water cup. Big goal, newsflash. No one's excited about this. This is not impressive. But you know what? This simple habit of keeping a cup with me leads to a healthier life. It leads to more water. It leads to something so simple that has a great impact in my health and in my body. Another example of a habit I have is I'm really, really active. Now, that doesn't mean I work out all the time. I'm like you. I have moments where I work out a lot, seasons where I work out a lot, like the one with Rachel, and seasons where I fall off the wagon. But even in the seasons where I'm not working out, I'm so active. So when I come home from work, the first thing I do, especially in the warm weather months, is put on running shorts and a tank top and tennis shoes, and I immediately think of what we can get into. I ask the boys, do you want to go jump on the neighbor's trampoline? You want to go walk down to the park? You want to walk down to the duck pond? You want to walk down somewhere else? You want to go on a hike, go on an adventure? What do you want to do? Immediately, I'm thinking of something active. My mind never goes to TV. My mind never goes to sitting on the couch. My mind never goes to sedentary positions, sitting, doing nothing. It's become a habit. It's a habit to be active. So no, I'm not counting calories. I'm not logging workouts because we walked to the playground and went down the tunnel slide for the 500th time. I'm not logging that. It's not a goal. It's not even a health goal. It's just a habit to be active. So all day, I'm at work. I'm at a desk. I'm in front of a camera. I'm sitting in a studio. But when I get home, I'm active. I intentionally have the habit to be active. It's as natural as breathing. I don't even have to think about it. It's not something that I think, oh, I need to do this. It might have started like that a long time ago, but now it's just a part of me. Another example, and this one's silly, but every Sunday evening I clean. I do laundry. I get things folded, get meals ready, get groceries done, get things ready for the week. And there's nothing impressive about cleaning and organizing on a Sunday night. But it's just a habit. Every Sunday night, I know this is what I'm going to do. And what's amazing is I wake up Monday morning and I'm so much more excited about the week because I feel ready. My house feels in order. My clothes are ready. I've got things where they need to be and I'm ready for the week. And I don't do it every week and some weeks are imperfect, but for the most part, Sunday nights, it is known that I'm going to get things ready for the week. And I feel so much better on Monday because of it. Now, do you see these examples that I've given you? These are just some of the habits, the good habits that I have. None of them are impressive. None of them are this massive goal. None of them are something that are so difficult. They're just things that I have cultivated over time that now don't even feel like an effort. It just feels like a part of me. So I want to give you 5 to consider in your life. I want to give you 5 habits that you can cultivate intentionally at first, but over time they become effortless as you begin to create this life that you're proud of. So let's talk about 5 areas that you can create great habits. Number 1, this is going to come as no shock to you if you have listened to me teach any amount of time. Number 1 is taking care of you. Taking care of you is not a pedicure on your birthday once a year, sister. Taking care of you needs to be a habit. It needs to be a regular practice. It needs to be a part of you to take care of you. Not a special moment thing, not a holiday thing, not a luxury thing, not just when someone gives you a gift card for a spa day thing. It needs to be a regular part of you. I'll give you an example. This is so silly, but I've realized I might be one of the few women that actually lives this out. Like, it is a habit in my life to take care of me. So I was sitting around with some girls at dinner. This was a few months ago, and we were all just talking, catching up. And these are all my friends. And one of my friends asked the group, what is one thing that you do for yourself? Like, just one thing that's just for you to like take care of you, like just one thing. And they were all like, oh gosh, like, I don't know. They're racking their brains to think of one thing they do for themselves. And my immediate response, without even thinking, was, just one? Just one? Because I have a long list of things I do for myself. Long list. I work out. I have highlights whenever my roots are getting gross. I buy new clothes if I need them. I take time to read. I take time alone. I got a long list of things I do for myself all the time. Now, y'all, I am not a selfish person. So before you start putting labels on me like, well, who do you think you are on your big high horse? Okay, just taking care of yourself. Listen, because I take care of myself, I am a great mom and a great wife and a great business leader. I understand that taking care of me is necessary to being great for the people I want to be great for. It's not even out of selfishness. It is out of love that I take care of myself in order to offer love to others. You can't offer something you don't have, and you can't lead others where you are not. So when you live your life busy and rushed and running ragged and this martyr syndrome of putting everyone first so you can be resentful and regretful and living your life like a doormat, let me tell you, you are doing no one any favors. Instead, take care of you. It doesn't have to be a big lofty goal. It doesn't have to be something, like I said, that's a once a year thing. I'm going to get a pedicure once a year. Give me a freaking break. Taking care of you is a habit. It is a part of you. The only person in this whole world that makes all those things possible is you, by the way. So take care of that person. Take care of that person that makes parenting your kids possible. Take care of that person that makes all the volunteer things and the business things and the house things. Take care of that person that makes all that possible. It's not a goal. It's not a once a year thing. It's not a holiday thing. It is a habit. Make it a habit. Number 2, and this is a really important habit that affects every aspect of your life. I want you to create the habit of believing the best. Choosing positivity. Choosing an optimistic attitude. Now, some of you, this will come very naturally too, depending on how you're wired, your personality style, your Myers-Briggs, your Enneagram, fill in the blank. Some of you, this will be hard. God has created you as a person that is more practical, maybe a little bit more cynical, maybe a little bit more critical, where your gift is pointing out what's wrong. Your gift is seeing how something can be better. We need you in this world. You make things better. You're like my husband. He can poke holes in things. They are painful holes, but they make things better. So I know that there are certain people that your natural personality style is you should be an inspector for new buildings because you are going to find what is wrong. However, regardless of your personality style, regardless of how God made you, all of you have the choice to create the habit to believe the best. In any situation, when the information is not clear, the lines are not marked, the rules are not obvious, you can choose to believe the best. When someone cuts you off in traffic, you can choose to believe, oh my gosh, they didn't realize they had a turn coming up. When someone forgets to text you back, you can choose to believe the best. They just got busy. When someone says something that you feel like hurt your feelings, you can choose to believe the best and go, you know what, they're probably having a hard day. It's your choice. You can choose to believe that person is a huge jerk and cut you off totally on purpose because they saw you coming. They thought, I'm going to get them. I'm going to cut them off in traffic. You can believe that. You can believe someone didn't text you back because they don't like you and they think they're too good for you and they're too busy for you. You could choose to believe anything about any situation. But in any situation, you have that choice. You have the choice to believe the worst, assume the worst, or believe the best. I will tell you, things tend to work out a whole lot better for you and the other person when you believe the best, 100% of the time. When you give people the benefit of the doubt, when you choose a positive outlook, when you choose to be optimistic, when you choose to believe the best, it always works out better for you and for the other person. What's amazing is when you believe in positive things, when you believe in a positive result, when you believe good things are going to happen, what's amazing, y'all, is they tend to happen. They tend to happen. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe good things to be true, and those good things come true. And of course, the opposite is also true. You look for the worst, you'll find it. You assume the worst, you'll see it. You believe bad things are going to happen, and then bad things tend to happen. It's not foolproof. It's not 100% foolproof plan, but I will tell you, you will have much better results, regardless of your personality style, if you choose to believe the best. The third habit I want you to cultivate in your life is simply working hard. Now, y'all know, again, this is not a surprise coming from me, but whenever you have something in front of you, whether it is a small task like cleaning at your house, or I guess maybe that's not a small task, maybe that's a big task, when you have a less significant task, a more mundane task like cleaning, or maybe a really big goal in your business or your personal life, you better expect to work hard for it. I talk about this all the time, but there is no such thing as an overnight success. Not in your marriage, not in your parenting, not in your house, not in your kids, not in your finances, not in your business. There's no such thing as an overnight success. Anybody that got anywhere in any of those areas got there by working really, really, really hard. Really hard. You're going to work like it all depends on you and pray like it all depends on God, but it takes both. Do not sit around on your couch for 7 years waiting for God to show up, because I promise you, God is attracted to activity. God can turn a moving car, but you better get that car moving. You better work hard for what you want. I love this story of Peyton Manning. When he was drafted into the NFL 25 years ago, they asked him what he was going to do with all that money. Think about that question. You've got all this money. You've just been drafted into the NFL, most athletes' dream. What are you going to do with all that money? What would your response be? Mine? I would be like, oh, there's clothes and shoes, and I think I'll get a bigger house. I'd like a boat. I could think of all the things that I would do with that money, because that was the question. The question was, what are you going to do with that money? But I absolutely love Peyton Manning's answer. You know what he said? He said, I'm going to go out and earn it. He didn't focus on the money. He focused on what he needed to do to make himself worthy of it, to earn it. You know what? That's true for all of us, regardless of if you're not being drafted into the NFL, which I would be willing to guess most of us are not. You still need to earn it. What do you want? You're going to have to work for it. I love how scripture says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for men. Don't worry about what other people see. Don't worry about the credit you get, the recognition, and whether anyone cares how hard you work. Don't brag about how hard you work. Instead, that's between you and God. You work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for men. Number 4, and this is a really important one as well, I want you to create the habit of investing in relationships, investing in the relationships around you. You know, it's amazing how there is such a direct correlation between the quality of life that you have and the quality of your relationships. They tend to go hand in hand. The quality of your life will be a direct reflection of the quality of your relationships. And we are wired for relationships, but so often we get caught up being busy. We get transactional. We're having false relationships on social media. We don't have real relationships. Instead, I want you to create the habit of investing in real relationships. Get together with your friends in person. Plan vacations with your friends, with people in your community group, with other spouses, with other couples, with other families, in person on purpose. And there's one particular relationship that I want you to be insanely intentional about. That's your marriage. If you're married right now, I want you to know your marriage is not secondary to anything. Not to your work, not to your business, not to your children. I know you love your children. I know your spouse loves your children. And I know that both of you would step in front of a moving train for those children, as you should. But here's the danger. You love them so much that it's very easy to put them first in such a way that your husband fades into the background. He disappears. He becomes a business partner that you manage the household with. And you did not get married to have a business partner. You did not get married because you needed someone to help you with the household chores and landscaping and lawn mowing. You got married because you loved that man, because you all had something before children. I went on a vacation earlier this year with my husband, Matt, and we take a vacation every year. Every year, gasp. Every year, just he and I. Every year, our children are cared for by someone else, like my in-laws or my mom or our nanny or any long list of people that are wonderful, capable caretakers. And my husband and I go off for a long weekend, typically 4 days or so, to the beach. We just go to the Panhandle in Florida. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing impressive, but it's time alone and it's sacred. And I can't tell you how much we love it, how much we need it, how fun it is to be silly and get back to just us being us. Us being best friends, us being in love like we were before kids sucked the life out of us, which tends to happen really easily. Well, when I was on vacation this year, I posted a few pictures, and I can't tell you how many messages I got from women saying, how do you do it? Like, how do you go on vacation with your spouse and not feel guilty? How do you leave your kids? I have not been on a vacation with my husband. I've not been alone with my husband in 6 years. I got that message on Instagram. We've had kids the last 6 years, and I don't want to leave them. I feel too guilty. And I haven't been on a vacation with my husband out of town in 6 years. Y'all, that message broke my heart. I felt sorry for her, and I felt sorry for her husband. You have got to invest in your relationships. Your marriage will not be amazing by accident. Your marriage will not be flourishing in 30 years by accident. And if you are not careful and you put your kids so first that you lose your spouse, which makes this entire family unit possible, by the way, if you get so obsessed with revolving your world around them, then here's what's going to happen. Aside from the fact that you are losing 20 years of your life with your spouse, this person that you love, but when those kids go to college, oh my God, you've got nothing left. You're sitting across the table from a stranger. And you don't know how to rekindle what you lost 20 years ago. Don't let that happen. Invest in your relationships, especially invest in the relationship with your spouse. Go on dates, go on vacations, have time without the phone, have time without the kids, have time doing things that married people do, okay? Make your marriage a priority. Make it a priority if you want to have a good marriage. It doesn't come from a big goal. It doesn't come from one major impressive effort. It comes from the habit of investing in it. And then lastly, I'll get off my soapbox, even though it's very hard to because I get excited about this. The last one is the habit of protecting your time. Your time is the most finite resource that you have. And if you don't protect it, I guarantee you everyone else around you will tell you what is important to you, what you should focus your attention on, what you should focus your energy on, how you should spend your time. It is your right and responsibility to protect your time, because I promise you, if you don't protect your time, no one else will. No one else will protect it for you. So what makes it on your calendar? What makes it on your schedule? The only person that should be deciding that is you. But it's not a big goal you set, it's a habit you create where you protect it because you realize this is the most finite, valuable resource you have. It makes up your life and you get to decide how you spend it. All right, y'all, those are 5 habits. Like I told you in the beginning, it's not comprehensive. You can add to this list. What are habits you want to create? Maybe it's stopping some bad habits like chewing your nails. Maybe it's creating some new habits like working out in the morning. Maybe it's something in between. Whatever it is, I want you to know that your life is made up of the habits that you create and the habits that you live out every single day. So choose good ones. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And now you can check out this next video.